How about now? No? Yeah, okay, now it's up. Okay. Yeah, I apologize. My Streamlabs, so give you a long story short. Happy Wednesday, by the way. Um, Real quick before I get started and give you guys a story. I think I said I'm gonna totally botch your name, so I'm gonna say the first four letters. Thank you, Jag. I appreciate your kind words. It means a lot. Yeah, sir, what's up, man? Derek, what's up? Dominic, we're gonna cover that today. What's up, Colin? No voice, I hear you. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so here's what happened. So my girlfriend was at the airport, and some lady came up to her and was asking her about like this job. And the way that it was described to me sounded like a pyramid scheme. So I told her like, hey, have the interview, whatever. If you think it's cool, whatever, just record it. I want to watch it and see what it is. So like the funny part is it is a pyramid scheme. But when she was recording, she totally screwed all of my audio. So and I didn't know it until like right when the stream started. Like that's why there was no sound or anything. But yeah, basically like the company is this. It's like there's the people at the top, and then they're like, okay, girlfriend, you're going to do your thing, have your website, and then you're going to have three other people, and they're going to have their thing, and then, you guys know the deal. It's a fucking pyramid scheme. So, anyways, sorry about the audio. Let's get into this. I know you guys are itching for my thoughts on this breakout. I tried to tweet a lot this morning. I was pretty... I'm busy every morning. I do my private analysis in the morning for all the patrons, and then I do my Spanish lesson, and then I go to jiu-jitsu, because usually during the hours of like 11 a.m. to like 2 p.m. U.S. Eastern, usually nothing happens. Today, the market went kind of haywire. So we're going to answer all your guys' questions, take a look at everything. I have my own thoughts, and hey, if I don't get I'm personally not really looking to enter a long right now, and we're going to get into why. So, SPX, and I want you guys to find confluence between every chart. Remember, multi-level confluence, look for look for charts to agree together, and I'm just not seeing that. So, a couple things. One, the S&P has bearish divergences forming. We have higher highs in price with lower highs in RSI. Again, not a signal of like trend exhaustion. Like I don't think that a recession is coming out of this, right? Divergences are somewhat normal. We have plenty of other bullish indications. But what I'm thinking is we pull back and kind of consolidate. And this kind of falls in line with during the summer, stocks are usually pretty slow. So during the slow period where not much is happening, we get that consolidation. We work through those bearish divergences. We create now bullish divergences between these lows and obviously higher lows and then lower lows in RSI. Am I the only one laughing about you wanting to record the interview and watch it? So the only reason I did that is I'm trying to protect her, because when she was describing the job, it sounded very pyramid scheme like. It's not like I've got like a camera over her head and I watch everything she does. Like that's not how I operate. But she was like, yeah, can you like give me your opinion? I'm like, yeah, okay, so you're going to screen record and I'll just watch like the interview. And I mean, it's a total pyramid scheme. So, I don't think she's going to go with it, but she wanted an answer. And so I tried to find her a solution to give her an answer. Love your live streaming. Thank you for that. Anytime. So, with SPX giving us this, right? And I'm going to keep swapping back and forth between this and Bitcoin, right? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, I will give you guys this. Higher time frame, Bitcoin is majorly bullish. And I don't want you guys to think for a second that I am leaning bearish, that I'm actually going to do that. That I'm leaning bearish, that I'm considering being bearish. None of that, right? What I'm saying is I think there's a possibility this is not the breakout, and we're likely going to consolidate a little bit longer before heading upwards. And if that doesn't happen, right, there's always a chance it doesn't. You need to position yourself in case it does. Now, for me and a lot of people that have been following for the last couple of years, we bought spot, right? We waited for this big market correction. We bought our spot. So worst comes to worst, my spot absorbs the gains. Like, I'll admit it straight up. My spot is what's going to make me all my money. I mean, I'm going to make trades. I'm going to make money from trading. But the vast majority of this bull market, guys, you can't out trade the market. You can't beat the market. The market is 24/7. You're not, right? The market's going to do things that don't agree with your trading system and not like work against it. But let's say we break through 72 and head up to 90K between this and next week. Okay, my trading system says that we're not ready to break out yet. That doesn't necessarily mean I have a bad system. It just means we're in a bull market, right? Higher time frame obviously leans over lower time frame. But anyways, had to cover the kind of macro view. Macro view, I am bullish. I want that to be extremely clear. I am extremely bullish. This whole range I've been saying is correction to continue higher. Now, when the point of going higher, I'm not sure, right? So SPX, we have one issue. We have SPX. I'm just going to write it down here. So we have SPX saying, hey, we've got bearish divergences, probably not ready for a macro market move. 2, timing, right? This time between now and basically middle to end of July is very slow historically in the market. You have very low volume. You really don't get confirmed moves. Like, and what I mean is we could have a breakout, but that doesn't mean that it's validated and we can easily go back down in our range. And I'm going to show you guys a quick example, similar time frame as well, and I want you to keep that in mind. Back in 2020, let's see the day. Look at that. It's June 1st when this happened. On June 1st, we broke out. I want you to look at something. Volume. Volume is extremely low. The very next day, we retreated that entire move and put in a lower low. One day, right? So one day we broke out. And I won't lie, this move caught me. This is before I was very keen on volume. This move caught me. And I think I bought somewhere in like the 9.4. There was a 1 hour double bottom in here. Sorry, I have a spectacular memory when it comes to losing trades. And I didn't necessarily lose. I think I ended up barely making any money because I was up decent. And then I walked away like barely above break even. But where is this? There it is. So with that, we had very low volume. We had all of these issues on the chart. And honestly, we are in the time frame where not much happens. Stocks, nothing happens. Crypto, nothing happens. You have very low volume the whole time. What are we doing in this kind of piece? We're building volatility, right? Squeezing those bands together to create volatility to send it higher. Ultimately, this is a very bullish range. We're coming off of a large move upwards, lots of consolidation. We started in May, ended in July. I believe we started at late February, and now it's June. So we might be a couple months ahead. I'm not going to doubt that. But again, my thought is, if we have low volume and there's nothing validating, who's to say we don't do exactly the same thing that we did here, right? You need to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, ultimately, did this break to the upside? Yes, if you're someone that doesn't care about the intraday trading or the swing trading and you're just buying to, really capture the ultimate bull run, then you can buy right here and it doesn't really matter, right? Higher time frame, we're very bullish. But my issue is volume, right? Currently, and I know this isn't current, this was back then, we broke out. The next day, we dumped through, and it was not a breakout, and then we headed all the way back down to the range low. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward to current time. I know today's a little bit untraditional, but I just really want to showcase what I'm talking about. So here we go. We're in current time. Volume has been dropping the entire time. Of course, why? Because we're consolidating. Now here's the biggest thing. Daily volume is 1, below average. 2, weekly Bollinger Bands are still 50% apart. I mean, we're barely average. So if we do break out today, where's your volume, right? All of the lower time frames are overextended. Maybe we consolidate here and then break out. That's a possibility. But today, I don't think is the day. And to be fair, I still have a feeling we're going to range a little bit more. And we're gonna keep covering that. So 3, we're just gonna put BTC volume. And I'm gonna totally screw this up. We're gonna put 4, 5. I mean, there's gonna be multiple reasons. So let's go to the next reason. Right? I want to. I guess we'll go with the DXY. DXY is bouncing. The DXY on the daily. So SPX and DXY agree. And sorry, this is notes from this morning. SPX and DXY are agreeing, right? We're holding support, and SPX has bearish divergences present. So you have two charts that agree. Why is Bitcoin disagreeing? Anyways, yeah, I can't really answer that. We're just trading the possibility on whether it breaks out or not. But we're trying to find more confidence in our decision making. That's the whole point of this. So DXY is saying, hey, we're holding this horizontal support. I understand we lost diagonal. Guys, diagonal lines really don't mean shit. Like I know that there's this assumption that diagonal lines mean something and they're end all be all. Diagonal lines really don't mean anything. The more important is horizontal support and resistance. So until we significantly put a candle below, not even significant, but until we put a confident close below that horizontal, I'm just not seeing it. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this mic. She changed everything this morning. The ability to move in TV, dude knows his Tamagotchi. Why am I learning Spanish? Because my girlfriend's Puerto Rican. And her whole family speaks Spanish. And I think 30% of the US speaks Spanish. And I don't work 8 hours a day, so I need to fill my time with stuff. I can't just play video games and sleep all day. Although that would be awesome. That's just not how I operate. That horizontal support is cracking if unemployment comes hot. Yes, I agree with you. Right? If we lose it this week, then by all means, now you have the DXY and Bitcoin agreeing. But for now, you have bearish divergences on SPX, and you have the DXY holding horizontal support. Potentially, right? We're still not through the week. Still time to change that. Chainlink versus Bitcoin looks horribly weak. I'll open that up. So let's go back to Bitcoin. We have another reason. I guess I'm just going to do this. 4, you have DXY holding support, right? DXY was put in S. DXY is holding support. The 5th reason. Now, I know this. A lot of you are going to know this. A lot of you that have been viewing the live streams have known that we've been looking at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is showing signs of exhaustion. Bitcoin is the only thing that's really pumping today, right? I know dominance is slightly red, but alts have not moved at all, really. I mean, today alts are moving okay, but in the last several weeks, most alts have not done anything. Not that every alt's going to do something. Like Link's done okay. Ethereum obviously is done okay. Tau is starting to bounce. Like some of these AI coins are starting to bounce, but realistically, alts have not really done anything. So aside from that, what kind of data can we gather from this? So if Bitcoin dominance is exhausting, why is Bitcoin trying to dominantly break out of this market? Right? Again, we're trying to find confidence in our trading decisions. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't break out. It just means, hey, is it going to be a legitimate fake out or a legitimate breakout, or are we going to get faked out? And there's not really a for sure reason to tell, but when you have tens or 5-10 reasons to be not confident, then don't chase it. So anyways, Bitcoin dominance showing signs of showing signs of exhaustion with divergence on RSI, right? We have higher highs in price, lower highs in RSI, and we have lower highs in MACD. Per my belief, we get a nice pullback, maybe back to 51%, and we have some kind of alt summer, right? Alts do well. Alts, kind of take liquidity from Bitcoin and start moving, especially with the Ethereum ETF that was just passed. Link just had, and I'm totally going to botch this, but Link had news as well where a lot of I want to say investment companies are using Link's transaction base. Again, look it up. I don't know the right terms for it, but Link had news. Obviously, AI should be doing well with NVIDIA breaking highs, with beating earnings. Am I still bullish for alts during the summer? Yes, sorry. That's what we're going over now. So, Sigma probably. This guy knows his stuff. LOL, legit. I'm not sure if that's sarcasm or not, but I'm just going to take it as a compliment. Thank you. Anyways, We're seeing exhaustion on Bitcoin dominance. Why is Bitcoin pumping and making a dominant move? So we have another reason, right? Bitcoin dominance is being dominant, right? And for those of you that are joining the stream now, because I see that more and more people are joining, we're discussing the reasons why Bitcoin's not ready to leave this range. Could it leave the range? Certainly. I'm not going to sit here and short or fight trend. Guys, ultimately the trend's up. The weekly is extremely bullish. But what I'm saying on the daily time frame, and even the weekly time frame, could we put another couple weeks of consolidation? Maybe you get a decent area to buy once again, right? That's really what I'm concerned about. I could really care less about shorting. Guys, I'm not shorting. We're in a bull market. If you're shorting right now, you're never going to make money in this market. If you even think about shorting, what I would say is find your favorite altcoin and just buy some spot, right? One thing real quick, like Karate. Karate's down 90%. This is a coin you buy, right? It went down 85%. This is a legitimate fighting league. This is a legitimate company. This isn't just like shit Inu Trump coin, right? Or some bullshit. This is a legitimate company. So, moreover, we've kind of covered different reasons, SPX, bearish divergences, the timing of the overall market. We're in the summer. It's low volume. Not a lot is happening. It's easy to manipulate and fake out the market at the moment. Bitcoin's volume isn't there on the daily. The DXY has not broken down and is holding support. And then Bitcoin dominance. With that said, you could also add like the Ethereum ETF being passed. Ethereum should be taking the reins right now. 100%. Right? Ethereum should be moving significantly more than it is. And it likely will, right? Ethereum likely will. But it's not at the moment. And really, Bitcoin's still taking everything by storm. And it's, lower market cap alts, though, with beautiful charts and strength, the Bitcoin make the most sense to buy, though. Yes, you're right. But, guys, if we have an alt season, let's say we have an alt season a year from now, right? And I'm just going to use Karate as an example. Let's say 1 year from now we have an alt season. Exactly 1 year. So if you live in the United States, if you buy this today, 1 year from now, you're paying half of the amount of taxes you'd pay if you just bought this and it, let's say it does this. Let's say it does exactly this. That's the exact move of Karate, right? Let's say it tops, and I know it's 2027. Let's just say this is 2026. Okay, I know the timing down here. Ignore it. I'm a terrible artist. Anyways, let's say this is the exact move. If you live in the U.S. and you buy today, right? Or even if this is mid-2025, you buy today, you're paying half as much in taxes. 2, you just bought an 80% correction, right? You can always say, oh, well, why don't I buy something that looks better? What if it looks better? What if Karate looks better against Bitcoin here, right? You could have bought a massive discount, right? An 80% discount from there. So that's kind of what I'm leaning into. Like, buy the alts that have corrected a lot, because when we do have that alt season, these are the ones that are going to return you the most. Usually, it's not always the case, and AI coins are probably going to do the best. Let's be honest, but it's not a bad look. So yeah, that's my other thing, Diego. If we have an alt summer, Bitcoin should range, right? And Bitcoin dominance should move lower, because alts are making more gains on Bitcoin, essentially. So if we go back to here, and that's kind of what I'm talking about with Bitcoin dominance. Dominance is exhausting. We should be having some kind of an alt summer. Now, it's not always set in stone. Divergences aren't always the end-all, be-all. But we should start seeing alts doing better. And historically, for those of you that have been trading this market for a while, around July and August is when the Ethereums, the Links, the Litecoins, maybe some of these AI coins, the Crows, the BNBs and Matic, those usually start doing well and kind of lean into their bull markets earlier because they're higher cap alts or they're more well known. They've been around for a while. Maybe even XRP, XLM, I remember 4 years ago in the summer did very, very well. And just for the sake of the example, here's Ethereum back in, what is this, June, July? Around July. In July to, what is this? August, we went up 127%. right? Confluent blow. What you saying is it might not be the break out to 87K, but instead maybe 73 and then back down to 67, 68, or even 63, 64. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And again, I'm not always correct. I'm giving you guys reasons to, maybe not FOMO, maybe not go in as much, right? Look, at the end of the day, if we break out and we go to 74K or whatever, it was 76K, and we come back and retest, you can add more to that trade. But what I'm saying is, I'm not confident in a breakout at the moment. So I'm not going to, one, I might not even buy the breakout. Two, if I do buy the breakout, I'm going to use a lot less than I'd use if I was very confident. If I was very confident in it, I'd go much higher, take on more risk. When you're not as confident, and this applies to any sort of trading scenario, you're not as confident in the trade, either don't take the trade or use much less. That way you're risking less. When you're more confident, take on more risk and take on more risk and enter more into the trade. Every time Bitcoin breaks all-time highs and flies, it gains dominance to lose it later, and that's the start of alt season. Well, yes, it's because more alts are created over time. That's because more and more retail investors and more companies are getting in it, more money is pouring in it. The money doesn't just go to Bitcoin, it goes to everything. Right, let's keep chugging along. So Tether dominance. Tether's dropping. Oh, and here are all my reasons from this morning. I guess you guys can read them if you'd like, but we're covering them now. And just so any of you guys know, this is what I cover all the time, every morning. All the time. This is what I cover every morning in my private analysis. Just different stuff. Like today, if we're talking about a breakout, why would we think a breakout would not hold or validate? And these are the reasons why. You have to think about this as a trader, or at least look for validation. So let's go to the daily. So here's my issue with Tether dominance. One, we're making, bullish divergences. Just so you guys know, RSI is based off the opens and closes. Unless this closes down here today or over the next couple days, you are now creating bullish divergence. You're creating higher highs, or higher lows in RSI and lower lows in price, because we're just slightly below or equal lows. Either way, that's bullish divergence. And again, to me, if we continue moving down, then forget it. We're probably breaking out. But the biggest thing here is, what if we just kept ranging, right? If we ranged and then fell down, that would give us one, more time for alts to go. Two, create more volatility for a much larger move to the upside. And three, I think the move would be healthier. Honestly, I think if we break out right now, we're going to put in our first divergence on this weekly chart. We're going to put a divergence at around 95,000 there and kind of do what we did last bull market, where we go to 95, come back down, maybe go to like 120, and that's the bull run, right? And for a lot of people, you might not be happy with that. So if Bitcoin breaks all-time high and pumps hard, it should gain dominance for a while. No, yes, you're exactly right. That's why I'm saying, why is Bitcoin making a dominant move when dominance is showing exhaustion? Because every other time we've had a bull market, when Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, which you could argue we're above all-time highs. We're barely above all-time highs, if that, right? Barely above. We're kind of in the realm of breaking all-time highs. Are we breaking all-time? Like, to me, it's until we get into the 80s, we're not really above all-time highs, right? We're barely above. Anyways, in 2020, when we broke 20K, Bitcoin dominance went up with Bitcoin. And here is the chart. Bitcoin dominance went up with Bitcoin, right? From really the 20K break until 40K. This is when alt season started, when we topped out first time at 40K. Now Bitcoin's starting to show exhaustion. More on that in another stream. But yes, you're exactly right. Bitcoin makes a dominant move. Dominance goes up with Bitcoin. You can even argue, I guess from here to upwards of here, Bitcoin makes a dominant move, right? From 20 to 40,000. From there, what happens next? Obviously, we go to 65K, but alts start putting in much larger gains than Bitcoin. Much, much, much larger. I'm actually just going to remove. You saw the reasons, great. If you didn't, go back in the stream. But here we're seeing dominance show exhaustion. And I will open up dominance once more. Dominance is showing signs of exhaustion. Why is Bitcoin being dominant, right? Why are we trying to break all-time highs and continue? And there's, who's to say that the divergences don't play out? But to me, I think they will. I sold, bro. I got spooked from the Trump verdict. Stock market glitch the other day. Celebrity coins and meme coins. Maybe I just have PTSD. I mean, if you made money, then that's fine. I didn't sell nothing this whole run up until these past couple of days. I mean, that's fine. You're not losing if you're taking profits. Or if you're walking into the profits, it's not a problem. But I don't know. I think the celebrity meme coin thing has always been around. So I'm not too concerned about it. If Bitcoin isn't ready to break all-time high soon, then wouldn't it be more probable that Bitcoin just keeps ranging for the summer? So Bitcoin, I mean, yes, that's what I have drawn on my Bitcoin dominance chart. Yeah, AZTV, I probably wouldn't have sold. Like, I'm a technical analysis trader, right? In 2020, we had numerous signs of exhaustion. Not only did we have an ascending wedge, we had a head and shoulders, we had divergences, we had volume issues. I mean, there was too many signs to hold, right? We ultimately had a market that was exhausting. Plus, we were up 20x from the bottom. Right now, we're up, what is it, like 5x from the bottom? Almost? Oh, almost 4x. Well, almost 5x. When it's 388%, that means, times 4. 15,000 times 4 is 60K, right? So almost 5x. Sold most of my alts and stocks, but still holding Bitcoin. I mean, it's not the worst thing you could do. Let's take a look at some of these lower time frames, guys, and then I'm going to call it. I need to go eat. So the daily, again, we're rejecting resistance today. We went over all of those reasons. I want to look at the 1 hour very quickly. So here we go. We have some more issues, and I did tweet these out earlier. We have bearish divergences between RSI, MACD, and price, right? RSI making lower highs, price making higher highs. Maybe we just do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. I again am of the opinion that Bitcoin should continue ranging for all the reasons we just listed about 5 to 10 minutes ago. But for now, I don't think that breakout's going to happen, at least until tonight. I mean, maybe we get some kind of breakout. But guys, if we do get that breakout, I want you to watch daily volume, right? If volume is, I'm going to zoom in. If volume is like this, say volume's like that, and we put a candle like this, that is not a breakout. Like, you have, again, below average volume. You have volume dropping the entire time we're rising at this point. I wouldn't trust that, right? That could easily lead into a fake out. I gave you guys the example earlier in the stream on June 1st, 2020, when we broke out of our range, and then we immediately reversed the next day. And I'd hate for some of you to give up profits or just get completely liquidated from something like that. Yeah, Canada did start cutting, but that's Canada. What are your thoughts on getting profits by opening a short and a long position together? I think that you shouldn't trade if you're not confident in your analysis. If you have to hedge positions, and that's, look, maybe my opinion doesn't matter. If you're successful at hedging, then great for you. But just for me personally, if you're opening up a long and a short at the same time, you are not confident in market direction, right? You are not confident in your trading system. And for me, if I'm not confident in the trade, I don't take it. So Hedging, I don't agree with. I've tried it in the past. It just doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for some of you, and that's totally fine. But for me, if I'm not confident in the trade, I don't take it. And again, why would you hedge unless you're not confident? Because if you're confident that the market's going to go up, if a lot of indicators are saying, hey, this is going to go up, there's a reversal pattern, there's divergences, et cetera, you take the long, right? The market's showing exhaustion, and there's a double top and divergences and deviation and all this stuff that usually signals a top, then you take a short. Hedging, again, just kind of leads into, I'm not sure what the market's going to do, but I'm going to try and make money. I mean, I've had hedged positions where the market literally did this, right? You open up your long, you open up your short. Okay, we liquidate the short. Oh, and then we drop below the long and stopped out the long. And then I lose twice. So my opinion, again, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you're successful hedging, but don't go into any market or any investment unless you're confident. Europe start cutting tomorrow. In theory, you are one of the best, and unlike a lot of these frauds on crypto Twitter, I appreciate it. It means a lot. I do very much appreciate all the kind words, guys. Dorian, what's up, dude? Got to get some X Defiant going one of these nights. Could that be useful in consolidation? Your opinion does matter. So, two things, and one's kind of a low-key announcement. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about this, so let's hope these people aren't watching. So, for those of you that know Castillo Trading, him and I, over the last couple months, have gotten to know each other. I wouldn't say we're like close, but we have like-minded thoughts. We both, kind of have the same analysis, the same kind of trading process. We are working with a team to develop a trading algorithm that'll implement kind of both of our trading systems. It'll be lower time frame based. It'll be taking several trades. Basically, it'll be like a copy trading system that trades lower time frames to return like 3 to 5% a month, right? So per year, you'd be making 30 to 60%, let's say, right? It'd be more of like a passively gaining, some months might be red, some months might be green. We're testing it, right? So that way, when there's these really long, boring periods of consolidation, like when you open up the 1 hour and this is happening, our algorithm will trade that for you and you'll make money. Now, where the algorithm is losing, or we're trying to configure so it doesn't take losses, like my answer was, hey, let's just shut off the algorithm if we break out. It's these breakout trades where it's trying to figure out the next range. So what I have suggested is wait for the range to form. Like, we need to program the algorithm to make sure that range is formed, or just find the patterns of exhaustion through divergences. Like today was a good example. We have 3 levels of divergence on the 1 hour RSI and price, right? Now you have volume divergence. I'm expecting this to come back down at least to 70,400. That could be a 2% move, and the algorithm would, trade that for you, and you'd make some money. Regardless, the goal is to have some kind of passively gaining, because there's lots of trading bots out there, and they don't make that much money, but they do make money. So it'd be more of like a passively, hey, if you're not trading, you can put your money in it. Because for someone like me, like I swing trade, right? Like I'm trading like 20, 30, 40 times a year are my big trades. So the other, upwards of 200 days I'm not in a trade. Or, let's say we're in a bear market. Let's just give this example. Let's say we're just now starting a bear market. And let's say we're at this point in the bear market where I'm saying, hey, I don't think this is the bottom yet. I think we're going to go lower. My analytics tell me we're going to go lower. I'm not led to believe that we're going to stay in this range and go higher. You could run that bot with your spot, the money that you think you're going to buy spot with. That way, when we get to that range where you buy spot, okay, now you can just program it to buy your spot once a week or whatever. So that's what we're working on. It's a work in progress. What up, Hamlet? How's it going? Trump. Trump did a 15x since I asked you to look into it. That's great. There's going to be lots of coins that do well and some that drop 90%. It's guys, the problem is like there's 20,000 altcoins. I don't have time nor the patience to look at all of them. That's not a shot against you. If you believe in a project, invest in it. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, guys, I hope I could answer some of your questions. If I didn't, bring it up next live stream. I will likely be live streaming Friday. I think it's supposed to rain, so I'll probably live stream Friday. I'll probably be inside. But with all that said, guys, be patient, use risk management.